Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet, voice you know with the news you trust studio, sponsored by Grain Equipment Company, where innovation meets execution. I'm Dusty Sonnenberg. Well, a windy day outside. Right now, 78 degrees on the barn thermometer. Looks like we are going to stay unseasonably warm for at least the next 2 to 3 days. Maybe rain in the forecast coming on a little later in the week. We have a lot of farmers trying to wrap up harvest and continue with field work around the state of Ohio. This quick calendar reminder, coming up on Thursday, November the 24th, will be Fall 2024 Ohio State Weeds University. This takes place at various extension offices around the state. Topics covered include drone applications, burr cucumber control, an update on weeds around the state from Dr. Alyssa Essman, our OSU Extension Weed Specialist, and new technologies in weed science. Now, registration is $40 a person, due November the 14th. You can register online at go.osu.edu/24 Fall Weeds UNIV. Taking a look at your agricultural headlines, the USDA's Crop Progress Report found 81% of the corn harvested, 89% of the soybeans harvested. Now, farmers continue to take advantage of this dry, favorable weather we've had the last week, bringing the corn and soybean crops ahead of schedule. USDA's National Ag Statistics Report had its weekly update on Monday, but the speedy progress of harvest could slow somewhat for some farmers this week as a more active weather pattern is forecast to bring precipitation to parts of the country. Looking specifically at each crop, the harvest progress for corn moved ahead 16 percentage points nationally last week to reach 81% complete as of Sunday. That was 13 points ahead of last year's 68% and 17 points ahead of the 5-year average, which was 52%. Ohio's harvest was the furthest ahead of normal at 72% complete, 34 percentage points ahead of the state's 5-year average of 38%. In soybeans, harvest progress showed soybean harvest continued to slow last week, moving ahead 8 percentage points to reach 89% complete as of Sunday. This was still 7 points ahead of last year and 11 points ahead of the 5-year average. Now, just to our north, Michigan soybean harvest was the furthest ahead of normal. Here in Ohio, we reached 72% complete. Now, speaking of that dry weather, some changes may be coming. In general, an upper-level ridge of high pressure has been dominant over the majority of the country the last couple of months, not allowing storm systems to really move through the country. Now, some small ones have, but no ones that bring widespread heavy rain. The start to the change this weekend, an upper-level trough of low pressure moved into the west, pushing the ridge to the east. Now, several more bursts of energy will replace the western trough in the next week, keeping the general pattern in place. This is the setup needed to generate large storms. The western trough provides the dynamics, and the ridge, with its clockwise motion around it, brings up heat from the south and moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. The combination is usually good enough to produce a storm system with a large shield of rain and potential for severe thunderstorms. Now, while the thunderstorms may indeed be severe, the storm systems are generally not ones that will result in large comma-shaped cloud signatures on satellite. A lot of the rain that comes from these systems will fall along the fronts, more focused than a widespread shield of a large storm center. But the middle of the country, which has seen little rainfall during the last couple months, will take whatever it can get. It will have multiple systems which to do so. The setup will not change much during this time frame, giving each low the opportunity to create areas of thunderstorms and heavy rain. A zone of good rainfall is forecast from Texas up through Wisconsin, where amounts are likely to be in the 1 to 3 inch range, with some amounts higher locally in those thunderstorms. Some moderately good rain up to 1 inch is forecast west and east then of that zone. To go along with the rainfall, there is some potential for a little bit of snow accumulating as well. Wyoming into western South Dakota is at risk of snow occurring at the end of the month, while an area east of the central Missouri region into the upper peninsula of Michigan could see snow falling in the early morning hours of October the 31st. In general, the snow will not last long with warmer surface conditions and overall warm afternoons. The precipitation is great news for those areas in the middle of the country who are done with harvest and trying to build up some much-needed soil moisture before the winter sets in, or get some moisture into the soils for applying fertilizer where soils have become too dry to do so. Stay tuned. We'll be back to take a look at your markets after this.
In any year, your best harvest is only a few upgrades away. Seed Consultants exclusively serves the Eastern Corn Belt, combining our deep knowledge of local conditions with high-performing products fit for your acres. Most importantly, our customized services put our products and your business in a position to succeed. We help you start with better to grow your best. Visit seedconsultants.com to learn why our products and services are simply better.
AmeriHealth Caritas Ohio is your Medicaid plan for more. More benefits, more rewards. We know that good health means more than just seeing a doctor when you're sick. Eligible members can receive extras like home-delivered meals and family essentials, like baby carriers and kids' school supplies. Members can even earn rewards for playing mobile health trivia games. Learn more at AmeriHealthCaritasOH.com and call the Ohio Medicaid Consumer Hotline at 1-800-324-8680 to choose AmeriHealth Caritas Ohio.
Let's take a look at how your market's closed, brought to us by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. December corn closed up 3 cents at $4.13 3/4. November soybeans were down 8 3/4 at $9.65 1/4. And wheat for December closed up 11 3/4 at $5.70 1/2. The July 25 new crop wheat was up 9 1/2 cents at $6.07 1/4. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dusty Sonnenberg. This is the Ohio AgNet.